This is gonna be cool.
The sound on this is better.
That's nice. This is awesome. As the sun's gonna hit it. Here we go. Oh yeah. Wow. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Now we hit the open of the show and start car shops and collections. 1984 Chevy K10 Blazer and a oh my gosh. Dude, look at that 1969 Camaro. Holy cow. And there's Dennis. The man behind, whoa. This is gonna be an incredible episode. It ties back into episode number 61, Dan Fox's K5 Blazer. We'll explain it all, but that's Dennis, and he's got two incredible builds for us. Ready, Gene?
Let's do it.
Just the way the Camaro is sitting out front, and the light hitting it right now. Dude, that is wicked, man. Dennis, this is Gene.
Hi.
Gene, this is Dennis. Hi, JC.
Hi.
Tyler, nice to meet you. This is Gene. Oh, can you get a shot of this before we get all mic'd up? Holy cow. Oh, this is nice. This is gonna be good.
Hi guys, my name's Dennis. This is my youngest son Tyler. We have a 68 Camaro and an 84 K10 we're going to show you today.
Dennis, dude, thanks again for doing this, man. Really appreciate it. And Tyler, dude, thanks for being here. I gotta say first things first, because I rolled up here and I'm shouting out how excited I am to see your 69 Camaro. This is a 68 Camaro
yeah.
that you got here. And one way to tell too is, by the way, is with the side markers, which I didn't pick up when I pulled up. Side markers on a 69, they are level. In 68, they're a little bit lower. In 69, they're a little bit thinner too. So when you see it, there are a couple indicators to show you that it is a 68. When did you get this?
You know what? I've only had this car about a year. It's been a long process. I had another 68. That gentleman from California taught me a very good life lesson. And that car didn't, basically, I couldn't use anything off the car.
No.
Yeah.
You bought it sight unseen, or?
No, he brought it out here. It was just a bad deal. I didn't do my due diligence.
Yeah.
I kind of blame myself for it. I went and had the car sandblasted and there was nothing left of it.
It comes back and it's like, what happened to my Camaro?
Yeah, when your sandblaster calls you an hour later and says, hey man, you have to come down here. I basically had a big pile of metal and sand and that was about it.
Oh gosh.
And I blame myself for it. But it's always been my dream to have a first-gen Camaro.
Yeah.
I love the 69s a little bit, but a little bit more. But now, this is my second 68, and I've really grown to love the 68.
It's gorgeous. Did you paint it?
No, this paint job is probably 24 years old.
Is it really?
Yeah, and I'll be honest with you, when I ordered another body. You know how you can order a body from Dynacorn?
Okay.
So that body was so bad. I had a good title, VIN tag, everything. So I actually ordered another body. That was almost 2 years ago. I have a deposit on it, still haven't gotten it yet. So basically, I didn't even know, not a good friend of mine, but a friend of mine stopped by one day and we were talking about Camaros and I was like, man, I wish I could get that body. And he goes, another guy I knew, Corey, he goes, hey, Corey's got a Camaro for sale. And I knew Corey had a 67 and I was like, a 67? He goes, nah, he's got a different one. So I called up Corey and he's like, yeah, I got a 68. And I'll be honest with you, I didn't want yellow. And I went over to his place. The car was kind of a basket case. It was up on jack stands. Nice, solid car. Yeah. And that's what I wanted. I just wanted a nice, solid body. And when I seen it was yellow, I was kind of like, I'm gonna paint it anyways. And so he made me a really good deal, which kind of helped me out from the other car. And brought it to the shop. It had the original 327 in it. 327 was just a little tired. So I just went through the front end on it. pulled the 327 out, resealed it, put a bigger cam in it and stuff, did a compression test.
Can we see under the hood what we're talking about?
Yeah, for sure.
And it's SS.
To be honest with you, I don't even think it's an SS.
Really? Get the badge in the back?
which I don't care because it's like, I'll show you inside what I have planned for the car.
Uh-huh.
So anyways, the motor that was in it was just tired. It's kind of hard to find good machine shops that can get it back to you in a timely manner. So I researched Blueprint motors, and this is actually a Blueprint 383 stroker motor. And I'll tell you what, I love this motor. Holy, oh man, this it's got a turbo 400 behind it. This motor is just incredible. It came in a crate, dyno sheet.
Yeah.
This motor made right at 440 horse with
really?
480 foot-pounds of torque.
Oh my God, so we got some power here.
It's solid, and it's all roller.
Tyler, you ever drive it?
Yeah, I drove it last time I was back.
Yeah.
Beautiful, yeah. I didn't get on it though.
No?
No, he wouldn't let me.
It drives like a 68 Camaro.
Yeah.
You know, you're kind of...
You have to
drive it.
Gen 1 Camaro. You're driving it. You got to pay attention because, you know, it's a little squirrely and you got to, you know.
So my whole thing was I want a Pro Touring. I want mini tubs, 6-speed. So that was the intention for this car.
Okay.
And I'll show you inside because I have a really nice LS3, SpeedTech subframe, everything.
Can I open up and look inside? And so the connection here, by the way, thank you for watching Cars, Shops, and Collections. If you haven't subscribed, you love it when you make comments, subscribe to the show, and support the show. But the connection here was to go back to episode 61, Dan Fox's K5 Blazer.
K5 Blazer.
Huge response. Yeah. You're the guy behind that. You built it.
A little bit, yeah.
One of the guys.
Yeah.
Painted it.
Painted it. It was about a year project. Dan's a good friend of mine. Originally, I didn't want to get involved with it, but it actually worked out really good for the both of us. That motor and transmission that's in the 84 that I'll show you is actually out of Dan's Blazer.
Oh, was it really?
So I pulled that motor out of it, tranny, ended up, yeah, go ahead.
Talk about original parts, seats?
Well, I'll tell you, the struggle I'm having with this car right now is I have everything to make this car a really cool Pro Touring car.
Yeah.
But I love it the way it is, man. It's so, you know, when you drive it afterwards, you smell like carbon monoxide.
In a good way.
It kind of rattles. But it's a beast, and it's just fun to drive. And I'll tell you what, I've learned to actually love the yellow, and just a lot of it just because it's period correct. It has the Krager SS's on it, you know, and the paint is, like I say, it's over 20 years old, but it's fun to drive. You don't really have to worry about rock chips that much.
And I want to point something out too. Airborne back here on the car. You got Airborne here. What was transition here to the K10
Yeah,
Blazer?
I got
Retired
Airborne on
Airborne Ranger?
No. I did about 5 years.
5 years?
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Thank you for your
Yeah,
service.
it wasn't a Ranger, just Airborne.
Just Airborne?
Just Airborne,
okay.
Yeah.
What's the difference between Airborne and people say Airborne Ranger?
Yeah, well, if you're a Ranger, you're Airborne.
Okay.
Yeah, you can be Airborne, so I jumped out of planes, and that's what I did for a living for the military. Yeah, served in Desert Storm.
Wow.
Desert Shield, Desert Storm, because I'm old. And,
you're not old.
Yeah.
So you're not like, I remember that.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I love the fact, here's what I love so far, is when we first met, it's all about the Blazer. I got this Camaro. We literally spent 15 minutes and we could spend another hour talking about your Camaro. It's gorgeous. But I also want to talk about your K10 Blazer here. First off, difference between a K5 and a K10 Blazer. K10 is just longer, is bigger?
Well, the K10, the K5, so this is a K10, so it's a pickup.
Okay.
It's a pickup. The K5 is a Blazer.
Okay, got it.
And I'll be honest, when Dan and I knew each other from the gym, and he kept telling me he had a 91. And I thought the 91, I knew the trucks ended the square body in 87.
Yeah.
And I thought 89, was last year. So Dan kept telling me about this 91 K5 he has. And I'm just like, it's cool, whatever you like. But I didn't think it was a square body. And then he finally told me, he's like, no, it's one of those square bodies. And I'm like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So he goes, I think I'm going to put one of those LS's in it. And I go, that's cool, but if you want to be really cool, put a Cummins in it. And the next day he's like, I'm doing it. And I was like, oh, all right.
And you helped him put that in?
Yeah, it was a joint. There was actually a guy, Tyler, that had a shop across. So Dan brought it to me first. I pulled the motor and transmission out of it and actually put it in. I bought this truck with my shop when I bought this, and I just slipped it right in here, and this was my shop truck. So Dan and I, we so it went back and forth between my place and his place, and and I actually painted that truck in here, his Blazer in here.
And he called that Battleship Gray.
He called it Battleship Gray, but it's actually, the original name is Garbage Pail Gray.
Oh, it is?
Yeah. But then they put it on the Hellcats, and then they called it Burnout Gray.
Okay, so it's technically Burnout Gray.
Yeah.
The Battleship Gray worked though. With the, I like the theme.
It's
of
really
it.
about the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the K5s are the Blazers.
The K5s are the Blazers.
And K10 is.
Yeah, the C10s are 2-wheel drive. The Ks are 4-wheel drive.
Is there such thing as a K10 Blazer?
No.
No. Okay.
You know what? People will probably be like, I don't know. I could be wrong.
Well, it's fine.
But at the K5s, as far as I know, the K5s were always the Blazers. Yeah.
And the K10s are the trucks. Because I thought coming into it, you had a Blazer. As we're pulling up, we're talking about your Blazer.
I got
you got a Blazer.
I'm working on the box still.
Okay.
I haven't painted it yet.
I love this truck.
The interior, you have to see the interior.
We talked about too, not many changes. There was a change, I think in '83, is they went to the 4 stacked headlights. And then is this the same grill that's on Dan's?
It's a little bit different, yeah, because the grill's a little bit different. So this one doesn't have a Cool Cummins in it, but
No, it's got a cool Edelbrock though.
yeah. So I did the fuel injection, the sniper setup on it. It's pretty much stock motor. Just put a bigger cam in it with the fuel injection.
Is there a lift?
Yeah, it's got a 6-inch lift on it
lift?
with 35s.
Is that what Dan had on his?
He has 37s on his.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where's the bed?
It's actually, my father-in-law has a shop down there, so I pushed it down there. I'm almost ready to paint it. I'm so ready to be done with this truck. The interior, I don't know if you can see up in there.
Well, can you? I don't want to open it and hit. Can you see inside, Gene?
Here's actually, if you want to. The seat, I tried a bunch of different seats. I wanted to put a more modern seat in it. But for one thing, I'm too tall for the truck. And every new seat is big.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, so I actually took this is the original seat out of it, took it down to a guy. He took all the springs out, cut the foam out, and he gave me about 2 inches more than what you would get in the normal seat, so.
Oh, I like that. There's custom cup holders there in the center.
Yeah, and then just painted the inside of the cab.
That's great. The stitching on those seats.
So it's very comfy for sure, and it did help. It gives you a little extra room as far as because the cabs just aren't that big on this thing.
Well, I noticed what you did in Dan. Did you do the seats in Dan's?
No, Dan's.
Because there are seats from an Astro van. Inside that.
There's a whole story to that too, because when they mounted them, they just drilled them through the floorboard. So when I got Dan's truck, everything was broke, the floorboard.
Well, we like it too because he likes the two with the captain shot, but he also likes the two armrests that fold down.
For sure. And I wanted a center console. Man, I tried to find a seat with a center console, just couldn't do it.
Never opened it up? He
No.
can't hear us.
No, he never let me.
Okay.
We came up this street and he was like, let's switch seats. I'll show you what it can do. And I was like, all right, I don't want to be the guy. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
The sound on this is better.
That's nice. This is awesome. Sun's getting hit. Here we go. Oh yeah. Wow. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Now we get to open the show and start parting out these legends. Yeah, that's wicked cool, man. Now I noticed it with Dan's, he had the fold down step.
Yeah,
Did you put that in there?
I did. I did the running boards on it.
Would you do that for yours? Or?
I probably will. I just haven't got to that point yet. But the problem with
inside.
like when I did Dan's is You know, on his, I made it smoother too, so I didn't want any bolts going through there.
Okay.
So I used channel iron and basically mounted those all to the electric boards. So yeah, I need to do them on this because it's hard to get in and out of. But
I mean, you're jumping out of planes. I mean, I think
yeah,
you're fine getting out of your truck.
I have some bad knees too, so. But yeah, this truck, I don't even. Everybody asks me what I'm doing with this truck, and I don't even know, to be honest with you. It was just I kind of started on it just because I needed a project, and yeah, it's gone a lot farther. This actually isn't the bumper that's going to stay on it.
Oh, it's not? Okay.
No, I put lights on there because I actually took this thing home and put it in my garage at home just for the simple fact my shop's so small.
Yeah.
It's like so. Have you ever heard of Speed Tech? They're out of St. George. Awesome company. So my original thing was, like I say, I want to build just a pro touring. So this motor, it's an LS3. Supposed to be right around 700 horse, naturally aspirated. It's all ported. It's 6-speed, Speed Tech subframe. I'll tell you what's awesome about, I've gotten almost everything through Speed Tech, and what's cool about them is they keep everything on file. They build a ton of these, so they know what you need. So it's like when I'm ready for something, I'll call them up and say, hey, I need front brakes. So they know what spindles I have.
Okay.
So they box them up. They'll send you the front brakes. When I have a Ford 9-inch for it also with their 4-link suspension. And it's just really cool being able to call them because you know it's going to work.
Yeah.
Because when you start piecing stuff together, I've done that so many times, and that gets so complicated. So I try to almost go through Speed Tech for everything just for the simple fact of I know it's going to work with what I have.
Makes sense.
My problem is I really like my Camaro the way it is.
Ooh, right,
I know.
yeah.
It's so cool. But I have, sometimes your ambitions are bigger than your bank account. And that's so it's like to buy another body, it's like, man, that's another 20 grand I could probably put in that thing. And but it'd be such a shame kind of to tear that car apart for what it is. I know. And I
Leave
just
a comment, what would you do? I would keep it as is, right?
Yeah.
All right, Gene. We're back. Where did you start working on cars? Where'd you? You have a
this
you have a
is
talent. You got a skill. Where did you pick that up?
Well, my dad owned a diesel repair shop when I was a kid, and I have 2 brothers and a sister, and both my brothers, we were all I started working there when I was about 8 years old, and then through high school I worked at body shops, and then after that I went into the military, and I was in the military for about 5 years, and I got out, my brother was working at a body shop. I went to work with him. A guy we used to do our alignments with had a mechanic shop, offered me a job. So I started turning wrenches and did that for quite a few years. And then worked at Bill Hurd Chevrolet out here in Vegas.
When I first
moved out here. And then I hired on 2004, I hired on with Metro.
So how long were you a police officer for?
You know what? I had 15 years on the department.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, I had some health problems. Had to take an early retirement, unfortunately, but it's a family thing. I got 2 brothers that were with Metro, my son, 2 sister-in-laws, and her husband. So there was actually 7 of us at one time.
So we met Cody. He's the police officer. Is Tyler a police officer as well?
No, Cody's been on the department about 8 years now, and then he does construction. He's actually working out in Knoxville, Tennessee right now. So, yeah.
When you were a police officer and you saw a classic car come flying by, would you give him any grace?
No, I have a soft spot for classic cars.
No, I love how you have this dialed in right now.
It's fun. It's just a fun car to drive, and everything's so simple. I love LSs. I love the fuel injection, but this has one wire that goes through the distributor. So if you got power, if you got spark, gas and air, you're good.
Yeah,
So when you get into the LSs, everything gets complicated a little bit.
Yep.
So
That felt right?
yeah. It does its job.
Perfect. Awesome. This was fun. This was really cool. Look at the truck, man. Wicked stance.
Yeah, it's getting there, man. I don't know. Like I say, everybody keeps asking me, what are you going to do with it? Are you selling it? And I'm like, I don't know. I didn't plan on really going this
Not gonna
far
sell
with
it.
it.
Tyler
So-
told me you're not going to sell it. I said you can't. Could you hear us?
Yeah.
That was fun. Dennis, man, thanks for doing this, man. I really appreciate it. Thank you for
Yeah,
everything.
nice to meet you,
Tyler, it's a
man.
pleasure meeting you as well, buddy.
meeting
Thanks
you
for
too.
doing this, and thanks everyone for watching this. And we'll have to come back when it's officially 100% done. Yeah. I'm sure we'll have more projects too.
So many, man. We'd love to have you back in Boulder because we have so many guys with cool cars.
I want to come back and shoot your car show. your
Yeah,
car
yeah,
show.
for
That'd be
sure.
awesome. Cool. Well, thank you guys for watching. Appreciate it.
If you want your car, shop, or collection featured on the show, then shoot us an email at carshopsandcollections@gmail.com. That's carshopsandcollections@gmail.com. And thanks for watching, and be sure and subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes of Cars, Shops, and Collections.
Ooh, maybe in the back somewhere there. Looks like a bunch of cars.
Okay.
All right. This is where we insert the elevator music. That's good. We don't have the seatbelts in the police car. Just went
there a
by.
cop car?
Yeah. What?
Man, there's so many cops out today.